Aristas, Krimvise Azantes, welcome video lovers, welcome to Tac Nerd 1.0. Alright adventurers, you've already read the title, you know what's going on, but I wanted to preface this with a bit of history, let's say. I was perusing the interwebs as I do, and I spotted this meme the other day, and we'll put it up here somewhere for you to see. And it's a funny meme. I think most of you have probably already seen it or you've heard of it, but it talks about one person talking to the other and how many guns a normal person should have. And he says 5, and yada yada, and they come back to it and he says, yeah, that's 5, we've already covered that. So you can read the meme, I don't want to spoil it for you, but it got me to thinking, and the meme really is correct, and I think we've seen that around YouTube, and everyone always says 5 guns is what you should own. And so I wanted to do my own version of the 5 guns video, and why at least I think these are necessary for any collection, or really anyone who decides to own a firearm. These are the 5 that you should have, or at least the 5 types you should have. That's really what I should say. I don't want to single out any particular brand, although I might make some suggestions here. But let's go ahead and let's get this started. I don't want to meander about any longer than I should. So let's start out. First off here, we've already got it on the table. We'll start off with a pistol. So this is probably, if you are just starting in firearms collecting or firearms buying, this is probably one of the first things you buy. I would say either this or the next one that I will bring up. A pistol is the most, I would say, the most common type of purely self-defensive firearm that anyone is going to buy, and that is essentially because of its concealment and its ability to be easily transported. This is generally what most people are going to use for your basic self-defense. It can fill a lot of roles, and I'm going to suggest, by the way, a simple 9mm striker fired pistol such as a Glock or the equivalent. There are many others like it, but at least a pistol. So as I said, would you be able to do other things with it? Would you be able to hunt and survive with it if need be? Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't exactly say it would be easy. And a pistol is the perfect thing for self-protection if you have a small home, if you have an apartment, something such as that. And again, it is also portable. So, and this is the first, or one of the first things that I would suggest for someone. And again, I would suggest something modern, something striker fired, partially polymer anyways, such as this is you have often seen this on my channel. This is my Glock clone. This is my Glock 19 clone. This is by SET.
This is the SCTV Television Network,
or St. Croix Tactical. And this is something that you can buy fairly cheaply on the internet. These are all over the place. This is going to give, and if you get something obviously with a rail, you get an ability to add on a light and some other gadgets and such. So that, a good holster, is probably about all you need. And I would say, my opinion is get it probably in 9mm. Now I know that's going to maybe upset some lovers out there of 45s and such like that. But if you're just starting, I would just start with 9mm, because it's going to be the easiest to find ammo for, the cheapest to find ammo for, and the 9mm ammo has become very, very advanced in the last several years, to the point where 40 Smith & Wesson, which was, many people thought, which was going to replace it someday, it's become almost unnecessary. And 40 is, I think, at some point going to go the way of the dodo. It's just not going to exist anymore. So anyways, that's my choice for the first one. Let's see what's next. All right, adventurers, we're back, and this is our second choice, and obviously this is a shotgun. And this is a pump action shotgun. This is a Mossberg 590, and this started out as a Persuader, and I have added a few things on and off to it as the time has gone. This is, again, this is probably either the first or second thing that you really should buy. Now, it's very difficult for a person to defend themselves just obviously, just walking around with a full size long gun, such as a shotgun. So that's why most people would start with a pistol. If you could do both, that would be great. But if you can't, I would say this should either be first or second. This is going to protect your home, protect your ranch, wherever you live. And the reason why people like shotguns so much is because it really is the quintessential American firearm. The shotguns were developed. I think a lot of people say that they were kind of an outcrop of like a blunderbuss or something like that. I don't know if that's really true. I think in part it is because of the way these are set up that they can fire a shot, such as birdshot or deer slugs or buckshot. There's a large variety of what you can do with these, and some people will defend their home with different types of ammo. Some will start with buckshot and then go to slugs, or maybe the reverse. Believe it or not, there's some people that might put some birdshot in there. They feel, I don't know what the reasoning there is. You make up your own decision. But again, the reasoning behind the shotgun is its versatility. So it's not really a rifle. Obviously, it really isn't a rifle at all. Although under some circumstances you can use, if you're using slugs, you can use rifle slugs and you can get a little more mileage out of them. And many people hunt exclusively with shotguns, large to medium-sized game and fowl as well, birds. They will hunt with shotguns. Now this one is probably a bit too small to be duck hunting or anything like that. You would probably want something with a little larger barrel, but could you do it? Maybe. This is set up more defensively, I guess. But the Mossberg 590 is a great choice. If you're tight on cash, I would say go with the Maverick 88, which is essentially fairly close to what this is, although I believe it's made overseas, where the Mossbergs are made almost entirely in the United States. Again, it's very useful because slugs hit hard. They hit very hard. There's really nothing in North America. I don't even know if there's anything on the planet that you can't hunt with slugs. Even elephants, rhinos, whatever. A 12 gauge slug is going to take down really anything. So it is versatile. And the pump shotguns are very reliable. Only thing that is probably more reliable is a single shot shotgun or a double barrel, which I've talked about that before on my channel. But the shotgun is very much needed for home defense. It really is your best option. But it is generally accepted that the shotgun is the home defensive firearm. So that is what I'm going to suggest for my number 2 to get. And let's see what's next. All right, folks, we're back. And number 3 firearm that you should own if you are going to own firearms and you want to have a more basic collection is a rifle. And I would say you want to have a rifle in a intermediate caliber, and you want to have a rifle that has easily obtainable ammunition. And I'm sure everyone would expect me to choose the AR-15. That is a very good choice, but I decided to be just different. And this one that I'm showing here, and I'm not saying that this is my final choice. This is just what I'm showing. This is an SKS, and this is a bubbed SKS. And if you don't know what that term means, it basically means that this is not the SKS's original form. This is after several aftermarket pieces were put on it for various reasons, either to make it somewhat tactical or to make it more useful. At least that's the idea, is to make it more useful for the owner. There's a lot of argument as to that fact of what is most useful or what is at least useful. This firearm was pretty much bubbed when I got it. There was really no point to trying to bring it back to some sort of original spec. So I replaced the stock. This is an old Tapco stock from back in the day when Tapco was still around. And in fact, I think I have a video of this somewhere here where I think I bought one of the very last Tapco stocks out there. And this one doesn't have a magazine in it at the time or at the moment. They come with a 10 round internal magazine. Most often when people bubba them like this, though, they set them up so they can take removable magazines. And I do have some for this one. I just don't have one with me. But if you're deciding not to hunt with a rifle, you're going to have to look up your local laws and see what those are, because in some states, you can't hunt with a semi-automatic. In some states, they may have requirements on ammunition that you can use. Some states will only allow, something like deer to be hunted with straight weld cartridges. Somehow or another, someone along the line believes that that's less dangerous, I guess. I don't know. Whatever politicians decide, that sometimes drives the gun industry, unfortunately. Now, this one is, I kind of call this one my forever rifle because it works well. It shoots pretty much everything I put through it, and no one is ever going to want it other than me. So, whatever happens to me, wherever I go, I'm probably never going to be able to sell this because no one's going to want it. So this one's with me pretty much forever. I don't ever see myself getting rid of this. In fact, if I threw it away, it would probably come back home. It is a serviceable, reliable rifle with acceptable accuracy. So I think whatever apocalypse-esque scenario that you may have in your mind, any zombie invasion that you might be thinking of, I think most people assume that to protect your community or such like that, or a group that you're in, you're going to need some sort of a semi-automatic rifle. And, so they're going to choose either something like either an SKS, an AK, or a AR-15. This is in 7.62 by 39, which today is not as common as it used to be as a caliber. The overseas ammo has largely dried up for this, so anything that's out there now is going to have to be purchased from mostly domestic sources, which PSA is trying to do that. They're doing the work there to try to ramp that industry up. But for now, people still have a lot of 7.62 by 39 left over. And I still do see Wolf ammo and, stuff like that out there, Red Army Standard. I still do see that out there in stores, but not as much as you used to. So the 7.62 by 39 is not the apocalypse caliber, not the shit hit the fan calendar that it used to be, but it's still up there. So anyways, but number 3 for me was a rifle. All right, folks, we're back. And this is now firearm number 4 for the 5 firearms that everyone should own. And this is another pistol, and I'm going to suggest that you own a 22 pistol. And specifically, that is because of training. And you'll see this, the next one is very similar. So this is going to be there to help you train with your 9mm, 45, whatever pistol that you have. And this is going to be essentially that. And it's also something that you can use to maybe teach others, such like that. This have other uses. Sure, they're great for plinking, shooting cans, bottles and stuff like that, and just generally having fun on the range. For, whatever zombie-esque situation you might have.
These creatures, these zombies or whatever the hell they are swarming the city.
Would they be useful there? Not probably as much as some of the other firearms we've talked about, but they're still going to have their uses. You can get 22s pretty quiet, depending on the type of ammo you use. And if you like that sort of thing, check around my channel. I do have quite a few videos on quiet 22s. This one specifically that I chose, I wanted to choose something a little bit different. And so I chose my Phoenix Arms HP22. This is a very cheap firearm. They're generally, I think a lot of people, at least when they first came out, considered them to be something like a Saturday night special. But believe it or not, the HP22 is quite a reliable pistol. So this firearm, I've had this for quite a number of years. I taught my children to shoot with this one. It's relatively easy to use, but it shoots pretty much anything I've ever put through it. I don't think I've ever had any type of 22 ammo that wouldn't work through this thing. And the configuration I have it in right now, I have the longer barrel in it. It actually, you can get it in this configuration or with a shorter barrel that's more snub nosed. But with this longer barrel, it's actually quite accurate as well. And you definitely need a 22 pistol of some sort. Now, that could be a revolver, some other type of semi automatic, or whatever. But, really anything will do as long as it's reliable and works for you and is obtainable. So that is my choice for number 4. Let's see what the last on All right, the list adventurers, we're back, and this is our last firearm. This is number 5, and this is the 22 rifle. And this is pretty much, as I said, it's kind of paired with our last one. You're going to want to have some sort of 22 rifle as well. Now, this is a 1022. This one is very decked out in this very fancy stock that I have for it. You've probably seen this on my channel before, but these 1022s are fairly ubiquitous. You can get them anywhere, and they have all types of different stocks for them. Mostly it's just going to be these days, it's just going to be a basic polymer stock that you're going to get for them. Back in the day, in the 70s and 80s, you would get a wooden stock similar to this one, but with just a more traditional look to it. Now, this is the takedown model as well. So this one actually comes apart, kind of fold it down, and then put it back together, and you're ready to rock and roll. Go after all your squirrels. Similar in the way that the 22 pistol is with your, like you say, your 9mm. The 22 rifle is also helpful for any sort of dispatching of critters or such around your property or your ranch, whatever that is. So this would be the case. Now, there's all types of 22s out there. This is a semi-automatic rifle, which means it is going to have a little bit of problem if you decide to shoot something like the more quiet 22s that I work with a lot on this channel. But you can get you can get any type of a 22 you want. You can get bolt action 22s. You can get lever action 22s, such as the Henry that I've shown on my channel before. If you're going to use different types of ammo, short and long as well, you'd probably want like the lever action with or something with a tube rather than a magazine, because those rounds don't feed well. But either way, I think a 22 rifle is very much essential. And also training newcomers to firearms, a 22 rifle is kind of essential for that task as well. It's a very good training rifle. The ammo, the 22 ammo, more expensive than it used to be a few years ago, but I would say still available. And it is coming a little bit down in price. And you can pretty much walk into any store, at least right now, in November of 24, and you can find 22 ammo readily available. So that is my last choice for 5 firearms that everyone should own. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of discussion about this and what mistakes I made, what is good, what is bad, what your feelings are. I welcome all of those comments. Please, by all means, leave them down below here in the doobly-doo. If you have any other comments, requests, or questions, again, please leave them down here. If you got something out of this, please like, share, and subscribe. Let other people know about the channel, and make sure you fire off a shot at that bell notification so you can be apprised of when all of our videos fire at 9 a.m. bright and early every morning. Folks, that is what I have for you today. This is Tack Nerd, and I am signing out.